I don't remember much about the night of the accident. One second, I was driving home after a long day at work. The next, I woke up in a hospital room, everything white, quiet, and cold. My head was pounding, my body ached, and I could barely move. The only sound I heard was the steady beeping beside my bed. I tried to lift my arm, but pain shot through me. Then, I saw her. A nurse stepped into the room. She had dark hair tied neatly into a bun, a white uniform, and a calm smile that instantly made me feel safe. "Hey," she said softly. "You're awake. Try not to move too much. You were in an accident, but you're going to be okay." Her voice was soft, gentle, the kind that makes you feel like you can finally rest. "You're lucky," she added. "You've got a strong heart. Just focus on healing now." I tried to speak, but my throat was too dry. She noticed it right away. "Water?" she asked. I nodded slightly. She helped me drink, steadying the cup in her hand. Then she adjusted my blanket and said, "If you can't sleep, don't worry. I'll be here tonight." And somehow, those words comforted me more than anything. That first night, I couldn't sleep. Every movement hurt, and the ticking clock made the room feel even lonelier. But sometime past midnight, I saw her again. The same nurse, calm, smiling, walking quietly into my room. She carried a small vase with white flowers. She said I thought these might help brighten the room, placing them on the bedside table. We talked a little. She told me how she liked working the night shift because it was peaceful, fewer people, less noise. I told her about my family, how they didn't know I was awake yet. She listened carefully, nodding, her eyes soft with empathy. Before leaving, she said again, "Get some rest. I'll be here if you need me." And she really was. Each night, she came back always around midnight. Sometimes she told stories about her life as a nurse. Sometimes she just sat quietly and listened. She said her name was Anna. There was always this faint scent of lavender when she was near. I started to feel safe around her, like she wasn't just taking care of my body, but also my mind. I remember one night asking her, "Don't you ever get tired, Anna? You're always here." She smiled softly and said, "I don't sleep much these days. I guess I just like helping people rest." Something about the way she said it felt strange. Her smile was kind, but there was sadness behind it. Still, I didn't think much of it. One morning, the day nurse came in to check my vitals. I mentioned Anna, told her how grateful I was for her help at night. She looked at me, confused. "Anna," she repeated. "There's no nurse named Anna on night shift here. You've been alone in this room since you arrived." I frowned. "No, she's been coming every night. Long dark hair, quiet voice, smells like lavender." The nurse shook her head. "There's no one by that name here. Maybe you dreamed it. You were in a coma for 2 weeks before waking up." That caught me off guard. 2 weeks? No, I've been awake for days. She smiled politely, like she didn't want to argue, and changed the topic. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. That night, when Anna came again, I told her what the nurse said. She looked down, her eyes distant. "Sometimes people don't notice those who work in the quiet hours," she said softly. "What matters is that you noticed." Then she smiled and handed me a small white flower. "Keep this, it's for courage." Her hand brushed mine, and it was cold. Not the kind of cold you get from air conditioning, but deep, chilling cold that lingered even after she let go. Before I could ask her anything, she said, "You're healing fast. Soon you'll be discharged. When that day comes, you won't see me anymore." I felt a sting of sadness. "But why? You've helped me so much. I wanted to thank you properly." She hesitated, then said quietly, "Sometimes, helping is enough. You don't need to thank me." Then she stood up, smiled one last time, and walked toward the door. But she didn't open it. She just walked through it. I froze. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. I told myself I was tired, maybe hallucinating. But deep down, I knew what I saw. The next morning, I asked to see the head nurse. I told her everything. The nightly visits, the lavender scent, the flower she gave me that was still sitting on my table. She listened quietly, and when I finished, she looked pale. "What did you say her name was?" she asked softly. "Anna," I said. "Anna with long hair." The room fell silent. Then she said, "There was a nurse named Anna Reyes here. She worked the night shift years ago. Everyone loved her. She was kind, calm, and gentle." I felt a sense of relief. "So you do know her?" But the head nurse slowly shook her head. "Anna passed away 5 years ago. There was a fire in this wing of the hospital. She died while trying to save a patient. In this very room." I didn't say anything. I couldn't. I looked at the flower she gave me, still fresh, still white. And for the first time, I noticed the lavender scent again, faint but there. That night, she didn't come, nor the next night. The room felt emptier than ever. But deep inside, I knew she was gone. Not because she wanted to be, but because she finally could be. When I was finally discharged, I stopped by the hospital garden. There was a small memorial plaque under a tree. It read, "Anna Reyes, a kind soul who never stopped caring." I placed the white flower she'd given me under her name. As I stood there, the wind blew softly, carrying the scent of lavender. It made me smile. "Thank you, Anna, for watching over me when no one else did." Some people think ghosts stay behind because they have regrets, but I don't believe that anymore. I think some souls stay because their kindness is stronger than death. Anna wasn't haunting the hospital. She was still healing it, one lost patient at a time. After that day, I started to see kindness differently. Sometimes it doesn't come from people who stay long in our lives. It comes from those who show up when we need them most, even for a moment. Anna reminded me that kindness doesn't end with life or time. It leaves traces in memories, in hearts, in the quiet comfort we feel when we think we're alone. If this story gave you chills, like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts below. Your support helps me share more stories that touch the heart and stir the soul.